So this is another question. Here the graph is given for the it is the density against pressure. Pressure is being given the unit of 10 power 5 Pascal also. The graph is given, although these are the straight lines, although they are not seem to be straight line on my diagram because I have just scheduled adjustment by the hand. So these are the straight line graphs. They are passing through the origin. Let's see what the question says. He says the variation with pressure P of a gas was determined at 290 Kelvin, another temperature T. Now actually the density of the gas and pressure are determined at temperature 290 Kelvin. These all are temperature 290 Kelvin. Temperature is constant at 290 Kelvin and T Kelvin here. Since the results are shown in a sketch graph shown. Part 1 he says by reference to sketch graph, comment on whether the gas behaves as an ideal gas. So first we have to see whether the gas behaves an ideal gas or not. Clearly I have to see the equation. Now equation for ideal gas, its pressure is given by P is equal to 1 upon 3 rho C square. I have to make rho as a subject matter. I can say rho is equal to 3 upon C square into P. Now if I compare it with y is equal to mx plus c, then this equation is a straight line equation passing through the origin. It is a zero y-intercept. So if a graph of rho against P is a straight line passing through the origin, then the gas behaves as an ideal gas. So these both lines are straight lines and they pass through the origin, hence gas behaves like an ideal gas. Why? Because I just have to see this is the equation, and according to this equation this is the gradient, the 3 upon c square is the gradient, and the graph of rho against P must be a straight line. If the graph of rho against P is a straight line passing through the origin, then the gas must be behaving like an ideal gas. So this is nothing but an ideal gas, or it behaves just an ideal gas. So we comment it behaves an ideal gas because according to this equation the graph must be a straight line passing through the origin. So let us see, it behaves like an ideal gas. Now what is the second part? He says determine the root mean square speed of molecules of the gas at 290 Kelvin. So let us see. I will first finding the gradient of 290 Kelvin line. Gradient of 290 Kelvin line. See, this line passes through 2 points. One is 0, 0. Other is 15 into 10 power 5 and 20. Please do not forget 10 power 5 with 15. So it's 15 10 power 5. So what is the gradient? Gradient must be 20 minus 0 upon 15 into 10 power 5 minus 0. So gradient is coming as I have to calculate the gradient. Gradient comes out to be 20 divided by 15 exponential 5. It comes out to be 1.333 into 10 power minus 5. So now I can say, so according to this equation, gradient is 3 upon mean of c square. So I will write 3 upon mean of c square will be equal to 1.33 10 power minus 5. So mean of c square will be 3 upon 1.33 into 10 power minus 5, and so this value coming out to be 3. It is 225,000, 225,000. I will be needing this value, so I'm just writing here this value for my next parts. I will be just, so this one c square for this is 225,000 meter square per second square. Now this is the c square. So clearly Vrms for this will be Vrms is equal to 225,000 square root of it is coming as 474. So square root is coming as 474 meters per second. I just can write 470 meters per second. So Vrms speed is 470 meter per second of 290 Kelvin line. How I found the Vrms? It's very simple. From this equation I see that the gradient is 3 upon mean of c square, 3 upon c square average. So I just first found the gradient of 290 Kelvin line. It joins 2.00 and 15 in 10 power 5 and 20. So I just have to calculate the gradient by y2 minus 1 upon x2 minus x1 formula, or by any method you can calculate the gradient. So 20 upon this is the gradient. So 3 upon c square this one. So c square coming out to be this one. So Vrms is square root of this one. So it's 470 meter per second. This is part 2. Now I have to calculate part 3. Now part 3 is a little bit difficult one, but suppose in exam you are unable to give the answer of part 2, part 3, then first leave the space for part 3, solve the question for part 4. If you solve, and because it says part 3 says that which temperature is greater, that 290 Kelvin is greater or T is greater, or whether the T is greater than 290 Kelvin or T is less than 290 Kelvin. But and in the next part he asks what is the value of T. So from value of T you can judge your answer whether you are right or wrong. So it is better if you first solve part 4 then write that one. But I have to explain it theoretically also. Now clearly, first of all, you should write in this way. See, gradient of T. Gradient, this is the third part. Gradient of line T is less than gradient of line 290 Kelvin, or I can say 3 upon C1 square. I am taking this as C2. C2 square is less than 3 upon C1 square. So if I invert it, this is a C2 square. This less than sign changes into greater than sign. So this changes into this one. Now why this changes, 1 upon 2 is greater than 1 upon 4, but 2 will be less than 4. So when you invert these things, they change. Clearly, if the gradient of line T is less than gradient of line 290 Kelvin, then C2 square must be greater than C1 square. Now we already know that C square is directly proportional to T. This shows that T2 or T2 is for T. T must be greater than T1 is for 290 Kelvin. So T must be greater than 290 Kelvin. Simple reason. Simple reason is the gradient of this T is less than 290 Kelvin. If the gradient is less than, then the mean of square speed will be less than, because the gradient is 3 upon c square. If the gradient is less, gradient of T is less than 290 Kelvin, then the value of gradient 3 upon c square must be less than the gradient of 3 upon c2 square, this one. But if you invert it, the c square, value of c square of T must be greater than value of c square of 290 Kelvin. So if you are this one 2225, you will be getting more value of c square for T. If more value of T c square mean is obtained, then value of T must be greater. That's simple thing. So in just 2 lines, gradient of line of T is less than gradient of line 290 Kelvin. So 3 upon C2 square must be less than 3 upon C1 square. Or if you invert it, C2 square is greater than C1 square, because they are directly proportional. Always T is directly proportional to C square. So it means this the value of this temperature must be greater than the value of this one. This is a T temperature, and this is T temperature, that's 290 Kelvin. So clearly T is greater than 290 Kelvin. Now I'll be calculating the fourth part. I'll be calculating the value of that T also. Now first I'll be calculating the value of C square for T, again from the gradient. So I can say 3 upon C2 square will be gradient of T. So 3 upon C2 square is equal to gradient of T is now clearly this T line passes through this 10 and this one. The points are the 0, 0 and 12.5 into 10 power 5, 0. Comma 10. So the gradient must be 10 upon 12.5 into 10 power 5, and the gradient is coming out to be 8 into 10 power minus 6. So value of C2 square is value of C2 square 3 upon 8 into 10 power minus 6. So value of C2 square is coming as 3 divided by answer. It is 375,000 meter square per second square. Now this is the C2 square, this one. I can find the VRMS speed for this temperature T, but it's not, he is not asked for that one. He only asked find the temperature T. So I'll be using the ratio method. I'm using 1 for 290 Kelvin, 2 for this one. I can say T2 upon T1 must be equal to C2 square upon C1 square. So T2 must be C2 square upon C1 square into T1. Just put the values, you get C2 square is 375,000, C1 square is 225,000 multiplied by 290. So it's coming out to be coming as 483 meters per second. I can just write the answer it's not a 4 meter per second, it's a Kelvin, 483 Kelvin. So this is the temperature. I can just answer 480 Kelvin. So how I find this? Let us see. First I found the gradient of T. Gradient of 3 upon Ct square is 10. This one, so gradient comes out this one. So Ct square is this. Now use the ratio method. T2 upon T1 is equal to C2 square upon C1 square. Put the values and get it. So that was this question. Sometimes this question in Cambridge comes in by reversing these axes. They suppose sometimes say P is along here and rho is along here. Then you have to set the equation, and the gradient will be then C square upon C square, mean of C square upon 3, and then you can calculate the things accordingly. This is another question. He says a container holds a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen in thermal equilibrium. Thermal means both have the same temperature at a temperature of 500 Kelvin. Find the mean translational kinetic energy of both types of molecules. First I have to find the mean kinetic energy of both molecules. Given that the mass of hydrogen molecule is this one and oxygen molecule is 16 times more massive, find the RMS speed of both types of molecules. We have to find the RMS speed. Actually the mean translational kinetic energy of both molecules will be same. First I will establish a formula. I can say, we know that P is equal to 1 upon 3 Mn upon V C square. So this will be PV is equal to 1 upon 3 Mn C square, but PV is equal to NKT. So it is 1 upon 3 Mn C square. So N is cancelled with N, and this is MC square is equal to 3 KT, or I can say 1 upon 2 MC square is 3 upon 2 KT. So kinetic energy is 3 upon 2 KT. I have proved this formula in one of the lectures here, but again I have proved this because I do not remember those formulas. I have just to have from this one the basic formula, and just I calculate this one. So EK is 3 upon 2 KT. Now K is the Boltzmann's constant and T is the temperature. So let us see now how I can calculate the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy will be equal to now 3 upon 2. Boltzmann's constant is 1.38 into 10 power minus 23. This is the Boltzmann's constant. If you do not remember that value, you can find the value K is equal to R upon Na. From that, R is 8.313, Na is 6.02 into 10 power 23. So if you calculate this value, the Boltzmann's constant comes out to, but this is given always. I'm just confirming whether this value is correct or not. 8.31, or you can take 8.31 also sometimes, and divided by 6.02 exponential 23. So it is 1.38 into 10 power minus 23. So value is correct. So this is the Boltzmann's constant. In temperature is given 500. So kinetic energy of the both molecules coming out to be this is 1.5 to 1.38 exponential minus 23 into 500. The value coming out to be this one. The value is coming out to be this one. If it's clear on the calculator, I don't know, but it is 1.035 into 10 power minus 20. So this is the value of the kinetic energy, mean kinetic energy of the molecules, joules, 1.035 10 power minus 20 joules. This is the value of mean translated kinetic of both types of molecules, whether it is the hydrogen or whether it is the oxygen. Now the next part is, he says, given that the mass of hydrogen single molecule is this one and oxygen is 16 times more massive, find the RMS at both types. So first of all, Vrms is always equal to 3 kT upon m under the root. T is, I know that T is just equal to how much? T is, I can find this from this one also, Vrms 3 kT upon m under root, or if you wish, you can find from C square's formula also. So it's up to you. I'm just finding from the C square formula, that is from the beginning. So I can write 1 upon 2 mc square will be 1.035 into 10 power minus 20. So C square will be equal to 2 into 1.035 into 10 power minus 20 upon m. Now this is the formula. If I take for first, I will be taking for hydrogen. For hydrogen, I will calculate C square will be 2 into 1.035 into 10 power minus 20 upon mass of the hydrogen molecule is given. A hydrogen molecule's mass is 3.34 into 10 power minus 27. But sometimes suppose he's not giving the mass of the hydrogen molecule and he just say the molar mass of the hydrogen is 2 into 10 power minus 3 kg. So you can find the mass by 2 into 10 power minus 3 divided by Avogadro's number 6.02 10 power 23, and you will get this answer. So you can find also, if it is not given, if molar mass is given, you can also find the mass of the single molecule of hydrogen by this formula. You know m is always equal to m upon Na. So very simple formula, molar mass divided by Avogadro's number. So this will be the C square. For the value of C square coming out to be 2 into 1.035 exponential minus 20 divided by 3.34 exponential minus 27. It is this one. C square is coming this one, 61976. It's very huge. So I will first now find the Vrms. Vrms, I'm directly will be the C square, this one. So whatever the answer I have in the calculator, I'm not writing that the bigger one. So just I'm taking the answer of this one, square root of that one. It's coming as 2489 meters per second, or almost it's 2500 meters per second. This is the RMS speed of hydrogen molecule. This is the RMS speed of hydrogen molecule. Now if I want to find the RMS speed of oxygen molecule, again I'll go for this formula. This one same. C square for, this is for oxygen now. C square 2 into 1.035, this one, into 10 power minus 20 upon mass of oxygen. So this is 2 into 1.035 into 10 power minus 20 upon mass of oxygen is 16 into this one, 3.34 into 10 power minus 27. So first I will be calculating C square, then of course Vrms will be square root of this one, 2 into 1.035 into 10 power minus 20 upon 16 into 3.34 into 10 power minus 27. I'll be calculating directly. It's 2 to 1.035 exponential minus 20 divided by 16 into 3.34 exponential minus 27, and then I'll take the square root of that one. It is coming as 622. 622 meters per second, or I can just write the answer 620 meters per second. So first I calculated kinetic molecules. You can use directly formula also. Ek is 3 upon 2 kT, and also you can find the Vrms is equal to, you can use this formula also directly. Vrms is equal to 3 kT upon m under the root, or even you can use this formula also directly, 3 RT upon m under the root. And then m, you will have to calculate m, or you can assume always, because these constants can never be changed. So you can always assume this molar mass for hydrogen as 2 into 10 power minus 3 kg, and for oxygen you can say it is 32 into 10 power minus 3 kg also. So this was the Vrms speed of all the molecules, and the question whatever being asked.